What is up today? We are going to go over the groundbreaking news in the Disney food world for Disney World's May the 4th. Be with you. Star Wars food related releases were just put on Disney Parks blog, which is the greatest resource for finding up-to-date, accurate information on Disney food, as well as Disney food blog. They're definitely the best resources to check out for all things that have come out. Now, a lot of these are going to be released starting this weekend as early which is available on our website, walruscarp.com, under resources. It's just for free. It's easy way to print out and check out, what you want to eat at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood, Animal Kingdom, Disney Springs, and Disney Resorts. So I have a lot already on this list, but let's look at what the Star Wars foods are going to be, and then we'll talk about my strategy moving forward for Epcot and Flower and Garden. All right, let me add into the stream here. This is straight from Disney Parks blog's website, which is, to me, the best resource for finding out Disney food. So how awesome is that little baby Yoda? I love that. It's really, really cool. And they had this before when The Mandalorian came out. That was from Amorette's. So let's get right into it, and I'll read off to you what we have coming out. So this just came out today, Wednesday, April 28th, 2001. Amorette's is bringing back the Child Mini Dome Cake, which is vanilla chiffon cake with cookies and cream mousse. And that's available starting on Friday, April 30th through May 5th. To be honest, I actually think, and this may be an unpopular popular take on Amorette's, but I think that personally Amorette's is very overrated. I think they make some of the coolest looking snacks, but honestly, I don't think the price point really denotes the flavor and quality. Highly artisanal in terms of look and feel, and even the packaging that you get, but in terms of quality of food, I don't think it's the best bang for your buck. At the Ganachery, which is always one of my favorites, they are doing the Millennium Falcon Chocolate Pop, which is this guy right over here, which also comes with crispy pearls. And that starts as well on April 30th. Then this one is really, really cool. This is over at Pineapple Lanai. So Pineapple Lanai, if you don't know, is the Dole Whip location at the Polynesian Resort. It's right next to Captain Cook's, but outside on this little patio section that has an overhang. It's right before you get to the pool there. But they're going to have a Millennium Falcon Star Wars soft serve sundae with Galactic Gray Vanilla soft serve with chocolate cream cookie crumbles, chocolate drizzle, white chocolate pearl stars, and brownie asteroid pieces with stardust sparkles, which I think is actually quite cool. And then that little Millennium Falcon on the top is just a white chocolate disc, but still looks great. Now, here's where we get super stoked, because I've seen these before at Disneyland Resort, but we have never had them at Disney World. And sorely, we had in December some really awesome churros in especially Magic Kingdom, and they've all gone away. But now coming back to us is going to be these Star Wars churro lightsabers in these holders, which they've had at Disneyland Resort. They are only available, though, at Hollywood Studios at Anaheim Produce, which overlooks Tower of Terror. It's right there on the left-hand side in that whole entire quick service area that has the ice cream. It has Rosie's. But yeah, the Lightsaber Churros will be located there from May 4th and May 5th. Then over at Epic Eats at Disney's Hollywood Studios is the Galactic Swirl Funnel Cake. It's a black and white funnel cake with strawberry, space dust, and candy rocks. That's May 4th and 5th as well. If you don't know where Epic Eats is located right by the Indiana Jones ride. So, or not ride, the show, that live action show, which is closed. So if you know where Gertie is, the dinosaur, and if you know where Hollywood and Vine is, or if you know where Frozen Sing Along, it's right in that area right there. Yo, what's up, Steve? What's cracking, brother? How you been, man? Just going through all of these new Star Wars treats that was just announced by Disney Park Blogs. So we just did the funnel cake up here on the right, which is over by Indiana Jones and Hollywood Studios. Over at Docking Bay 7, the Wee Wee Puff is coming back, which was an original treat that they had when Docking Bay 7 first opened, and then it disappeared in favor for the Batu Bonbon, which personally is one of the absolute best desserts that you can get in Hollywood Studios, and in fact on property, and it's at a quick service location. So I think that's kind of cool too. But this one, the Wee Wee Puff, is raspberry cream puff with passion fruit mousse, also only available for May 4th and May 5th. And then rounding things out, the Hyperion Animation and Hollywood popcorn carts, which are all basically in the exact same location. So if you know where Disney's Runaway Railway are, it's right there. So there's two that sprawl against the Hollywood Brown Derby on both sides, straddle it, and then there's another popcorn cart on the exit of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But this is a Interstellar sweet and crunchy popcorn, which actually looks like it has candied walnuts, candied almonds. This almost looks like an Oreo cookie piece, and maybe it's kettle corn, or maybe it's a chocolate dusted kettle corn, which is only available on the 4th and the 5th as well. Pretty cool. So, all right. Heading over to Trolley Car Cafe, which, if you don't know Trolley Car Cafe, that is the Starbucks location at Hollywood Studios. Also, Pizza Rizzo will have this, and Backlot Express. It is a dark side chocolate creation. It's a malted milk chocolate mousse dome with raspberry mousse topped with slivered almonds on a chocolate shortbread cookie. So this dark side, who does that look like? One and only Darth Maul. So a little Darth Maul raspberry mousse, that probably is pretty good. And the cookie below it reminds me a lot of the gray stuff cookie that you get over at Disneyland. That's where they put their cookies and cream mousse on top of that kind of wafer cookie. So interesting. Oasis Canteen, Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge, Sunshine Day Bar at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So a bunch of places have this Cosmic Rum Punch, which is also available only May 4th and 5th, which is coconut rum, pineapple juice, Minute Maid lemonade, and grenadine served with a glow cube, which I will tell you, if it's served with a glow cube and it's alcoholic, you're looking at probably somewhere around $16 to $18 for that, because the glow cube usually adds about $5 to a $12 or $13 drink. So that's up here in this glow cube. Actually, it might be either one of these. Which did it say it had? Minute Maid lemonade and grenadine. I'm guessing it's probably this, because this is Minute Maid lemonade with watermelon beverage syrup in a glow cube. That's, I don't know. I don't know which one would be darker. Minute Maid lemonade with grenadine. Grenadine is probably this guy, because grenadine is a deep, deep red, where this is probably the watermelon syrup, which is the jettison juice. And then this Darth Vader Stein, which you could get a fountain drink in, also available only May 4th and May 5th, is this. So you're looking at a sipper cup over at Backlot Express, AC Commissary, Pizza Rizzo, Rosie's All-American Cafe over at Disney's Hollywood Studio. And if Hollywood Studios isn't giving you enough bang for your buck, it gets better. There's even more. And this one looks like it's actually going to hang around for a bit longer than just the 4th and the 5th. But at Hollywood Scoops at Disney's Hollywood Studio is a chocolate peanut butter explosion shake right here. Chocolate ice cream layered with peanut butter sauce, topped with whipped cream and garnished with chocolate peanut butter crumbles and a chocolate dipped peanut butter cake. Wow. Everything sounds insane with that. And this chocolate peanut butter cake looks delicious. I'm super, super stoked to try that. And that has to go onto the Disney's. My pen broke apart. I got to put that back together. That's going on the Hollywood Scoops, which if you don't know where Hollywood Scoops is, that is just outside Tower of Terror, just before Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster on the left-hand side there. It's the last of that food court kind of chain of quick services that they have there, starting with Anaheim, then to Rosie's, and then to Hollywood Scoops. And that is the chocolate peanut butter explosion shake. That alone makes me want to just go to Hollywood Studios. I might go to Hollywood Studios just to try that, because that would be really fun. That would actually be really, really fun. Thinking about how I can fit that in. Interesting. I definitely could fit that in on Sunday. And then Beaches and Cream. This is not a May the 4th, but this is just some over-the-top shakes again. This is a wild berry shake that has striped pink purple marshmallow, cake pops, and whipped cream. Sounds pretty good. And then all of this, they're going into Flower and Garden. So let me bring this up so that it's just me. There's a lot to get for May the 4th. I think there's some really great options too, particularly if I was going to pick things to grab. If you really want an Instagrammable treat, it has to probably be the Amarettes cake, although I'm not a huge fan of Amarettes, but that is adorable. And same with the Millennium Falcon chocolate. This, to be honest, I think the only interesting thing is the crumbles, or the brown asteroid pieces, which I'm guessing are brownies. That's the only real interesting thing. Otherwise, it's just dyed. It's cute, yes, but not a really unique flavor. This would be so fun to get these red and blue lightsaber churros, but they probably just taste like regular churros. I think this funnel cake is really interesting with strawberries and space dust. I'd be curious to see what that tastes like. Definitely would get the popcorn because that sounds delicious. And we don't really get a lot of unique popcorns for us at Walt Disney World. And then I would say probably the best of all the treats in terms of probably look and taste is going to be over at Trolley Car, Pizza Rizzo, and Backlot Express with this dark side chocolate creation, which is the malted milk chocolate mousse and raspberry dome. That would be the go-to must-get snack on May 4th or May 5th, because that just sounds absolutely spectacular. And then that shake is good, but has nothing to do with with May the 4th celebrations. So all right, we're going to head over to my handy dandy, trusty Flower and Garden labeled delicious guide. I have tons of food on here. In fact, I did a little napkin research of all the foods that I still have to eat. And I have most of them written down for Epcot. And this book has been just laden with things. So trying to figure out how to try all of these is going to be insanely challenging. Plus, I have two other things that I want to try. One being the Land Crusher, which let me see if I can get a picture somewhere online of the Land Crusher. This is at the Land Pavilion, which honestly, I kind of wish it wasn't called the Land Crusher at Sunshine Seasons. Yes, at Sunshine Seasons. All right, here we go. WDW has a picture of this, so let's add this in. Let's add this to stream. There we go. Look at this thing. Holy cow. It is a triple-decker pulled pork sandwich with pickles, and I believe it's some sort of cheddar cheese. What do they say? 6 pieces of Texas toast. An order of the Land Crusher comes with 2 double-decker sandwiches, folded pickle skewers, and a bag of Lay's potato chips. This thing looks really, really good. The Texas toast is crispy on the outside, soft in the middle, has a buttery flavor. The pulled pork is delicious. Mike, listen, I like WDW NT for their news, but their website is super cumbersome. Like, there is so much advertising. I can barely read the articles. I get you have to monetize, but it is really tough as a consumer. And they have great content. They have great content. Like, look at these pictures. They're fantastic. Tomato-based barbecue sauce, slice of cheddar cheese melted over pork Tell me that does not look like an insanely delicious dude. So Steve, I don't know if you got this or you're just looking at it the first time like me and trying to figure out if you would want to try this, but yeah, it sounds amazing. I typically never get a chance to try this because one, the land pavilion is kind of annoying because you have to go downstairs for all the attractions and all the food. And where it's offset in the actual park makes it not really conducive when you're over in the World Showcase to hit this. Plus, I usually am hitting all the food booths from one of the festivals, and like a sandwich this large just never fits in the plans. But I have a plan to actually try that sandwich in the future because it just sounds so absolutely amazing. And then the other one that's on regular menus, we still haven't even gotten to any of my like top picks for Flower and Garden, which I have a bunch of decent food picks. Yeah, okay, cool. I pulled that off. Regal Eagle over at Epcot. And these guys are going to get some love again over for WDW News today. This is the S'mores Brownie, which actually went away for a hot second. It's got this graham cracker kind of bottom and then this deep fudgy brownie. It's got toasted marshmallow top and then this chocolate laid on top of it. It just looks fantastic. And I've never gotten a chance to try it. I actually only ate at Regal Eagle twice. The chopped pork is amazing, but I got the huge everything beef pork, everything they had. I tried the ribs. I tried the only thing I didn't have was the brisket over there, but it's all delicious. Our kids really like the barbecue sauce. So a pro tip and a really fun experience is to go over there. Yeah, dude, that sandwich is insanely massive. And this s'mores thing looks really, really good too. But the French fries you can get, which are really affordable. I think it's like $3.99 for a side of fries. And then you can get all the dipping sauces and be able to try them if you're not in the mood of having like big, heavy barbecue. But that's a great way to experience Regal Eagle and what they have to offer. But this s'mores brownie just looks so insanely good. I mean, look at that. The graham cracker, the toasted marshmallow looks airy. Oh, they're saying it's similar to meringue. One of the problems I've noticed with some of the marshmallow treats, like there's this one, it's like everything but the kitchen sink sandwich, and it's got pretzels and potato chips, and it's coated in chocolate, and then the layer is like a marshmallow fluffy vibe, which I feel is probably this same exact material or ingredient or preparation of marshmallow, but the fact that it's toasted I think is going to change the it's got like a spongy vibe to it. If it's more crunchy and less spongy, I think it'll make it better, but it definitely looks exactly like the other marshmallow. But that looks like a really rich, fudgy brownie. It's rich enough, but not overpowering. The brownie itself is fluffy. I like it. I like it. Definitely going to try that as well because that just sounds delicious. So, all right. Let's go into some of my top picks of things that I'm really looking forward to. And I'm going to go back to Disney's Flower and Garden, this is over at let me do screen share because I got to add this one in. This is the Disney Foodie guide for Flower and Garden Festival. So it's just a great primer for all the things that they have. And most of them have pictures added to it. The only thing that I don't like is it's not in flow of the World Showcase. So for example, if you start in the World Showplace, it doesn't go to like Trowel and Trellis and then to Joffrey's and then to Mexico with, I think it's Ardeen something, and then to China, and then it just doesn't have like a good flow to it. So, all right, we're going to skip Flavorful Kitchen because that's not on my list. I had this shrimp and grits. They were amazing, but I have this candied bacon. They are fried cinnamon roll bites with cream cheese frosting and candy bacon. Wow, sounds delicious. This is at Sunshine Griddle, which they call Future World East. The best way to put it is this is the donut box right outside of Test Track, just rebranded. I have to try the avocado toast because I'm a fan of that. But this brisket with a soft poached egg, please. That just sounds bananas. Now, I had the spoon bread, which was delicious. Jalapeno and corn and that honey on there and the bacon. I thought that was fantastic. But this intrigued me. One of my Instagram followers said, hey, dude, you got to try the local wildflower honey mascarpone cheesecake with orange blossom honey whipped cream, whipped honey, crystallized honey, honeycomb, dehydrated honey, and fennel pollen meringue, because you get to try honey in so many different ways. I love that. I think that's a great way to experience honey. I've had fennel pollen before on this really delicious butter, and fennel pollen tastes a lot like anise or licorice. So I know that, but I've never had honeycomb straight up. I've never had dehydrated honey. I've never had it as a whipped honey. So super interested in that. There's nothing that's really doing it for me at Citrus Blossom except for this, where is it? The orange sunshine wine slushy sounds good. I've had a wine slushy here before and it was delicious. This lobster is probably pretty good, but everything else seems pretty standard. I had this popsicle trio. It was quite good. What's interesting about it is some things are creamy and some things are more icy. You know how like some popsicles have more of like an iced thing? So going back to the other one, let me pop back up here. They're saying that it's a fennel pollen meringue kisses. So it's going to be these things right here, and it's just meringue, but you can see the fennel pollen is dusted on top. So that fennel pollen is just like powder. I mean, it is pollen. It's a powdery pollen, and it clearly is coming from the fennel plant, which some bees must use or pollinate fennel. But yeah, it has a very strong licorice taste, Steve. So going back to these popsicles, there's 3 different flavors. There's the honeydew melon, which is over here, then the raspberry mint, and then the coconut lime, which is over here. The honeydew melon one was very icy like any ice pop that you have. That's what it has that vibe for. But the really richest and creamiest was this raspberry mint, which clearly has some sort of milk in it. It does say gluten and wheat friendly, but non-vegan. So I know that there must be cream in that one. And then this one kind of was a mixture of creamy, but also icy, but I thought they were really good. I didn't try the house-made Italian sausage and peppers poutine, but I'm sure that's banging. Moving right along to Pineapple Promenade. And this is where you get your final, your winnings, if you do what they call the garden graze. So let me pull out of this for just a hot second. So the garden graze is in your book, in your Flower and Garden Festival book. There's a section called Garden Graze, and it has all these different food items that you must eat. The grilled baby vegetables, the boneless short rib, which is vegan, the pineapple skewer with tahine seasoning, the potato pancakes, and the lemon Magdalena pie. And it says over here that there's a complimentary item from Pineapple Promenade. And that complimentary item is actually a Dole Whip. And it comes in a really cool souvenir cup, which is not shown here, but it's a little plastic cup, very similar to this, but it does say Flower and Garden Craze on it. And they fill it with Dole Whip, which... They have a pineapple beer flight. It doesn't say anything about any styles or differences of Dole Whips, just the regular pineapple one. But the item I'm actually excited about is this one. It's a spicy hot dog with pineapple chutney and plantain chips. Sounds so good. I can't wait to try that. And I did really love this frozen dessert violet lemonade. I wish they made an alcoholic version of it because that is screaming for some vodka in it, and it would be fantastic. Now, heading over to the vegan area, this is Trowel and Trellis, and this is a part of the garden craze and also on my list of things to get. It is the boneless impossible Korean short rib with cilantro lime rice, this slaw, and a kimchi mayonnaise. It sounds insanely good and impossible that it's vegan, but it sounds really, really quite delicious. So I can't wait to try that. I have to get this, even though I don't want to, because I believe it's $4.99 or $5.99 for just a skewer of pineapple with the tahine seasoning, or tagine. I don't know how to pronounce it, which is like kind of like a spicy seasoning. I don't think it's going to be all that great, and it's costly for what pineapple is, but it's a part of the garden craze, and I am a completionist, so I will have to get it so I can complete that portion. Over here is the potato pancake from Brownie Market, which is the farmer's market over at Germany. Potato pancakes with applesauce. They also have one with caramelized ham, onions, and herb sour cream. I actually want to try that one, but on here it says that the applesauce one is in the garden craze. So I am hoping that I don't have to eat the applesauce version, and they'll be okay with me having the savory version, because that actually sounds like a better option. I think the toasted bread with Black Forest ham sounds quite good. That's not shown here, but this is the potato pancake I'm going to get. And then this apple Schaumwein sounds quite good. It's sparkling wine with apple liquor. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but. And then moving to Magnolia Terrace, which is at the American Pavilion or American Adventure. The Crawfish Etouffee with andouille sausage and dirty rice, that's up here, sounds amazing. And the portions that I've seen from this from other people is there's a lot of crawfish in it. This Cajun style roasted oysters, yeah, I'm all about them too. I swear, I feel like I should have been born in the South. I'm like a Louisiana style vibe, and I love crawfish boils. This house-made boudin 2 ways with spicy mustard sounds good. So these two sounds interesting. It's kind of like a mixture of a sausage or a summer sausage with kind of a little bit of like a charcuterie meat board vibe. Then you have this pecan cake with a maple whipped cream. I mean, I think I'm going to pass on that because that cake looks dry AF. And the pecan praline, I had a praline from the French Quarter when that was still open, but it wasn't great. It was very granular and broke apart instantly, but I am going to get this one because it's packaged differently than the other one, so I want to give it a second try. Maybe I had a bad batch, I don't know, but it was Mickey shaped, so I had to try it at French Quarter. And then the last thing is this Bayou Cocktail. That sounds good. Spiced rum, coconut rum, fruit punch, and OJ. Just sounds really nice and refreshing for the summertime. I am not a funnel cake fan, but I am going to get this funnel cake because it has lemon cheesecake ice cream, which sounds delicious. And blueberries would go really well with that, and then powdered sugar. I just don't like how greasy funnel cake is, but all this whipped cream should balance things out, I think, quite nicely, and I'm looking forward to trying that as well. Over at Morocco, the seafood couscous looks good with the shrimp, mussels, and olives. However, I'm only going to get one thing here. That's going to be this lemon magdalena cake with fig compote and a sangria gel. Does not sound really great to me, but guess what? It's a part of the garden graze. So guess who has to do it? The guy who has to complete the book. So I am going to get that. And then at La Isla Fresca, I really like the sound of this because I'm a huge fan of passion fruit. This is a tropical mousse cup with layers of passion fruit cake, coconut mousse, and tropical fruit glaze with fresh pineapple. It sounds banging. I can't wait to try that. And then every single one of the drinks, the tropical freeze, this tropical freeze with coconut rum, even this hibiscus guavacation sour beer, all sound fantastic if you need to get something non-alcoholic or alcoholic to beat the heat. And then I've already eaten at Festival Favorites, and I really like the watermelon feta salad with balsamic. It's delicious. It's actually something we make at home quite often in the summertime as a refreshing side salad. And then I also got this beef brisket burnt ends and smoked pork belly slider, which was fantastic, but the brioche bun just ripped apart instantly, and we had to kind of knife and fork it. Everything else that's in that World Showplace I've already had, so we're going to move straight along. I liked the cider flight. I thought that was fun. Over at Canada, definitely going to get this beef tenderloin tips. They're known for their steak because of Le Cellier, so that sounds good. And I was going to skip this, but somebody told me it was their favorite thing, this griddled maple pound cake with warm peach compote and sweet corn gelato. I would have never thought, but now I have to try it. It just sounds really interesting. And then this maple popcorn shake. They do also make one with rye whiskey. I am going to take this one non-alcoholic. because I just think that rye whiskey is going to be a little too smoky. It might work well, but I really want the maple to shine. And this, I've always noticed, being in the beer business, you don't really get a lot of maple out of things when you ferment them. It just kind of ferments out. And then over at the Mexico Pavilion, so once again, like we're jumping from different pavilions. That's my only problem with this Disney Parks blog. It should follow a course and a path so that you can like plan it out in a map, which we do have maps for Walrus Carp, which show you what my best picks are for Flower and Garden. I think this Taco Vampiro sounds quite good. It's braised beef on a corn tortilla with Monterey Jack cheese. How can that be bad? This tostada sounds quite good too. That's up here, I'm pretty sure, although that looks like jicama on top. So I'm not exactly positive. That actually might be this guy, the sopa de chorizo, which it actually looks like that's plant-based chorizo, although they don't mention the jicama on the top there. I do want to get margaritas here too, this passion fruit, because I'm such a fan of passion fruit and it uses Blanco tequila. I'm all about it. Passion fruit puree, lime, corn liquor, and a hint of smoke with hibiscus flower rim. Sounds delicious. And I might be a weirdo and get this silly garden margarita. I'm not a fan of mezcal and it has lettuce juice in it. Actually, no, I'm not getting that. It's too weird. I just know I'm not going to like it. I'm not a big fan of mezcal. When I just saw Anchos Reyes chili liqueur, I'm definitely out. I know I'm not going to like it, but I wanted to try it because it had the lettuce juice, but that's definitely not my thing. And then Lotus House over at China, the Papa Cakes, which are right here, are crispy potato cakes filled with shrimp and water chestnuts. It just sounds really interesting and different. I don't know if I'm going to like it because I'm not a fan of water chestnuts. I think they're more of like a texture bite crunch thing and not so much of a flavor thing. I don't think water chestnuts really add to flavors, but interesting. A lot of people said they really like these crab and cheese wontons over here, but something easily you could find at your Chinese local restaurants. So I'm going to skip that. I may, depending on if I'm feeling sprightly or not, I will get this Kung Fu Punch, which is vodka, triple sec, mango syrup, because I love mango as a flavor, orange juice, and soda water. And then over at Italy, I'm sorry, Italy, you guys always have the lamest stuff. You guys have pizza, you have arancini, which you almost always have arancini, and then you have a cannoli. Like, come on, Italy. You can bring it way better than that. But I do want to try the Italian margarita with limoncello and tequila, which I've heard is actually quite nice. And then bringing it home over at Japan, because I've actually eaten everything at France. I will talk about Joffrey's. So we got 3 more places to stop and look at. At Hanamai, which is the Japanese pavilion, is the Frushi, which has strawberry, pineapple, and cantaloupe sushi in a sweet rice pink soy wrap with whipped cream and drizzled berry sauce and toasted coconut. Delicious. That just sounds amazing, and everybody's always said it's good. This is that shrimp and crab over cucumber slices. That sounds awesome, but I'm going to skip that, and I am going to get this pork shank over here because it just sounds so good. A glazed pork shank with truffle mashed potatoes, crispy lotus flower, garlic chips, and green onion. Over at France, the beignet was quite good, but this was my hands down my favorite thing I had so far at Flower and Garden this year. That is going to be your large chocolate macaroon lollipop. It was so good. We ended up having to, and I got to reemphasize this a little bit for a second. It was so good. We ended up getting 3. So everybody could have their own while Mel and I shared one. The Frushi's good. Dude, so like I'm super stoked. Yeah, and by the way, let's just say, Justin, man, you're like sponsored down here with your awesome Walrus Carp shirt. Look, this same shirt is right behind me. So that's awesome, man. Yeah, the Frushi was decent. I don't know if I like those fruits. So let me go back to the Frushi for just a hot second. And let me make this bigger. So I think the Frushi is going to be pretty tasty because I love cantaloupe. As long as, where am I going, man? I'm all over the place here. It's because they don't show it. That's why. You know what? Let me pull up Frushi from somebody else because somebody will have it from Epcot. And here we go. I don't want a recipe. Interesting. Disney Food Blog had, I just want a picture of it. Oh, they have good pictures of everything. Okay, this is perfect. I'm going to add in this to the stream. So let's do, I'm going to stop sharing this one for just a second, and I'm going to share a different one over here for just a hot second. And that is Disney Food Blogs, which they're awesome. If you don't look at Disney Food Blogs content, in terms of up-to-date, like right at the second, it's the best for finding anything. But if you take a look at this frushi, it's so good. Strawberry, pineapple, cantaloupe. I mean, strawberry is delicious. Pineapple is always delicious. Cantaloupe can be hit or miss whether or not it is in season. But, I mean, it just looks really good with that whipped cream. Yeah, see, like the shredded crab doesn't do it for me. I want full pieces of crab. And then that pork shank looks good. Oh, they got a beer and the pineapple sake. Interesting. Oh, they don't have any information of if they like them or not. But the pork shank looks really, really good. What is that? What kind of starch is that? Let me go back. I'm going to stop this one. Let's do stop screen share, add in the old tab so we can look back at Flower and Garden. Oop, did I break it? I broke it. Trying to do too many screen shares at once. I don't know if this is coming through right now, but all right. So I don't know if I'm like paused and not responding, or if this thing is going to fix itself, or if I'm just sitting here and you guys can't see anything. But the pork shank comes with truffle mashed potatoes, a crispy lotus flower, garlic chips, and green onions. So that the garlic mashed potatoes will be in that. Hang on. And can I add this one? All right, I'm back. Hey, what up? What up? Let's let me go back to Disney's. I wanted to finish up the food guide, Flower and Garden. And I'm using the legit one. It's so funny. DFB, she's got the lock on SEO so good. And thank you, Steve, again for letting me know that I'm still live. So she crushes so much that when you type in Flower and Garden Food Guide, guess who comes up? It isn't Disney Parks Blog. Disney Parks Blog is number 3. God, man, AJ, you're killing it. Absolutely killing it. All right, let's hope I don't break it this time. All right, we're back. I think it's because I was trying to jump through too many tabs at once and it ended up canceling out. But so the starch on that pork shank is mashed potatoes. Let me show the picture of it again. There it is. That crispy lotus flower sounds cool. And then these garlic chips. I love garlic. At Sanaa, that pickled garlic sauce is the best dipping sauce. I know, dude, you're right, Steve. AJ, she does it better than anybody. And she's so genuine. She's such a nice person. Also, All Ears Net, those guys are incredible too. And even Living by Disney, I love their content. And then Disney Coffee Blog. I like everybody, all right? You know what? I'll make a statement right now. I'm not a fan of anyone who propagates negativity towards Disney. Not in the sense of like they're unhappy with something, but there's a lot of people who are like self-hating Disney fans, and it's weird. Like they don't like anything that Disney does. They disagree with everything, but they're in the parks all the time. Like a self-hating Disney fan. I don't know. It's not for me. All right. I talked about the chocolate lollipop macaroon being the best thing I had. From Joffrey's, though, I want to try this one, which is right next to the gift shops that are right in the dead center of World Showplace, directly across from the American Pavilion over the lagoon that you can't see now because of the giant Stargate that's there. But this citrus sunrise is frozen lemon and passion fruit. If you're not getting a theme here, that if it has passion fruit, I'm buying it. And Mandarin vodka. Sounds delicious. There are some other drinks. There's if you're more of a blackberry fan, there's the frozen lemon and blackberry syrup. That sounds quite good. There's this bubbly brew with Jameson cold brew whiskey and coffee and a splash of Coke at the American Pavilion. And I also heard, this is from my very serious napkin notes here, that the Joffrey's has something called a tiki torch, where the tiki torch was like passion fruit and something. Hang on. I saw it on the app. Give me a second. I could also, I'll put my brightness down. I learned this trick. Let me get out of this for a second and go full screen to me. My Disney Experience is your friend. So if you're not using the My Disney Experience app, get on it. It's got everything you're looking for. So if I look up Joffrey's and I'm looking at, this is not at, it's not at Canada. It's not at Blizzard Beach. It's not at Future World. Oh, that's the Joffrey's over at the one it pulled up. You know how I found this last time is if you look at the main, hang on, let me get my eyes out of the way. If you look at the main screen for the My Disney Experience app, there are some really, really fun things on here. There's all your PhotoPass stuff, but you'll find some guides on here. So this one right here, the Flower and Garden Guide that's on the My Disney Experience app is really, really, really good at listing things that aren't necessarily accessible from other sites. So I'm going to click on this Outdoor Kitchens, the tomato button, and that's going to take me to every single one of the outdoor kitchens. Now, why is this important? Because I want to look at the Joffrey's locations, and you can't find this Joffrey's coffee menu from the American Adventure. That doesn't show up anywhere on the app itself. And when you pull it up, it'll show you what the pavilion looks like. That's that little kiosk on the left-hand side of American Adventure. And I'm pulling up this menu to find what the tiki torch is, but it was like a amazing tropical banger. So I'm super stoked to try this. The menu's not loading. I might have to go onto the internet and find the tiki torch, because the menu was working earlier today, and that's how I found this thing. But I am in stuck getting menu zone, which is disappointing because I wanted to show you in-app. Also shows you that My Disney Experience and Disney in general is not always perfect. So let me pull up Tiki. Somebody's got this. An internet connection is required. Yeah, no kidding. I have internet. Tiki Torch Joffrey's. Someone has a picture of this. Probably WDW. Oh, that's a 2016 DFB article. That's no good. All right. It turns out that the menu I'm going to use is from my friends over at Touring Plans. So we're going to use Touring Plans here. And they show the Tiki Torch is a frozen passion fruit. Who would have thought? Okay, I get it. You want me to buy something. Frozen passion fruit with juicy sweet flavors and a hint of tartness blended with vodka. It sounds awesome. So I'm super, super excited to try that. Kind of interesting that this says it's at the port of entry. Is that really what they call that area? The port of entry? I don't know. I've never heard that said before, but maybe that's what it's called. Maybe it's called the port of entry. So Yeah. Some other things on this really fun napkin list that has to get transferred over, because when I was writing out that list, I didn't have my my snack planner with me. So I didn't know what I had written down. So I didn't want to double up. But I mean, there's so much good stuff. Now, there are some things that I wrote on here that have nothing to do with flower and garden. It's not on this one. It's on this one. There's a really, really cool Mother's Day cupcake that I think I might be able to access. So Mother's Day Disney Dining. And let me see if the food blog has it. Yes, Foodie Guide to Mother's Day. We might as well do this too, because why not? Mother's Day is coming up. There we go, Foodie Guide. So if you look at the Foodie Guide, there's all these cupcakes and everything. Most of them don't start until April 30th through June 1st, but there are some things that are available now. So at Tiffin's, you'll see available, oh, this is only available on May 9th, so on Mother's Day. Some of these things, like this cupcake, will be available all the way April 30th through June 1st, so much more availability to be able to try that. These Coral Reef and Le Cellier desserts are only available through May 9th. This raspberry chocolate mousse tart, this lemon cream and berry charlotte, which has lady fingers on it and berries. That's this guy over here. Amorette's is doing a strawberry dipped bouquet, and then this Mother's Day swirl, May 7th through the 10th. Landscape of Flavors is going to have a cupcake from 6th to the 9th. Contempo Cafe is getting in the cupcake game, which they have been sorely out of for quite a while, except for their Cinderella, which is a great, delicious pumpkin cupcake. One of my absolute favorites that you can get day in, day out. But they're doing a red velvet cupcake. And then Gasparilla is starting this Mother's Day Mimosa miniature sponge cake, April 23rd. So you can already get that now all the way through May 9th. And then there's also this guy is the one I'm thinking sounds really good. So this started on the 24th. This is at Artist Palette over at Saratoga Springs. It's the Mother's Day cupcake, which is a vanilla cake with peach compote, spiced vanilla buttercream, peach mousse, and a white chocolate tart as a hat. It looks awesome and it sounds awesome. I guarantee it's going to be delicious. And then there's tons of stuff. A lot of brunch things. Oh, what? Dude, Hong Kong, man. What are they doing? I don't even know what this is. Hang on. Let me find where it talks about. Is that from Hong Kong or is that? Yeah, this is definitely Hong Kong. Chinese and almond orange cake. I don't see anything that says. Oh, here we go. You would think it's this. Sweet purple potato. Because it's in Toy Story Land. That has to be this. Sweet purple potato and coconut cake. That's interesting. I'll have to hit my buddy Zed up and see if he's getting that. But it sounds pretty interesting. So, I don't know. Pretty cool. There's a lot of snack options. So much stuff going on in the Disney parks. So make sure you head over to Disney Parks blog, which is all the way at the top here. I'm going to click for Disney Parks blog, and I'll show you what it kind of looks like generally. But they have tons of different featured stories in here. Of course, my favorite stuff is always going to be the food things. Cooking up some food celebrations. Disneyland members, the best bites. And I'm pretty sure these things go underneath. They used to put them under a category that you could click that said Disney specific food. Wow, there's a bunch of stuff for Disneyland Resort too. So, well, here you go. Other stories by Karen. Karen writes, I guess, all of their food and beverage content. So, yeah, she did a great job. Looks good. Very excited to try all these things. You guys are awesome for coming and hanging out. This is a resource for you to take a look at all the Star Wars stuff, any of the flower and garden things that you may have missed, as well as the Mother's Day treats that are coming up. But I still need to update the website so everyone can access the snack planners and the maps really easy. I have categories in my head built, but I have to actually get them down into the website. I frankly have been really busy with work and the kids, so I've been lacking on website and store and shirt designs, and I need to get back to that. I've been focusing too much on content and not enough on the website. So I think I'm gonna have to change my strategy for content, just so I continue a high level of content, but maybe remove a couple of layers and a couple of pillars for that to just make it easier so I can get things done on the website. So, all right, without further ado, if you'd like to check out Walrus Carp, my name is Kirk, and it's a Disney small business made of Disney clothing that's all snack related and funny dad jokes. We also make sunglasses like these Mickey polarized shades, which are very cool. They're very affordable too. Free shipping on everything, no minimum order. T-shirts, wovens, all that good stuff. Check us out at walruscarp.com. Steve, you are the man, and thank you so much for hanging out. Justin, super appreciate you coming in here too. Dude, you're always supporting. So Steve, Justin, you guys are great. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. And I have 2 YouTube videos just for you guys. So to let you know, they're already in the pipeline. They're already done. They're already uploaded. I just have to write the descriptions. But you're going to get 2 new Animal Kingdom, a bunch of Animal Kingdom treats that I haven't uploaded yet. And then the other one is trying the new pineapple and coconut Dole Whip, and a little background on our brand and our business over at the Magic Kingdom and at Aloha Isle, which I'm actually really stoked to be able to mobile order from Sunshine Tree Terrace and get myself my citrus swirl as well as those pot stickers, which I've never had the pot stickers before. So super, super stoked. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out here. Really appreciate it, Steve. Really appreciate it, Justin. You guys rock, and I'll see you later. Have a good night, everybody.